Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of For Such a Time as This, a podcast about calling, timing, and trusting God in the season that you're actually in, not just the one you hope to be in. My name's Bethany, and I'm your host. This season is our second season. It's called Single and Set Apart. So I'm talking to Christian singles or people that were single kind of later in life but aren't single anymore. And I'm super excited for what you guys might learn in this season. So let's just sit back, relax, and see what God might have for you in this episode. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. These are my friends, Seth and Sam. I'm so excited to have them on this episode of Single and Set Apart. Thank you guys for being here today.
Always on have you probably anytime.
All right, so let's just start at the very beginning. You're both single, twins, 31, right? Yeah, okay. So whoever wants to start first, tell me about like your singleness journey, like how it's been so far and how it is, like where you are at right now.
Well, for me, I think last year was a very pivotal point in my life. You date and certain situations don't work out, and then you still realize that even after situations don't work out, there's some internal things you need to fix. So I was at a place where I was like, God, what am I supposed to be doing right now? He woke me up, gave me scriptures to read, and he said, go deeper in him. I started fasting more, praying more, going to Saturday prayer. Shout out to you, church, by the way. And from there, he just started working on my mental, my emotional, and I've learned to enjoy my singleness, and he filled every space with completeness and wholeness. I actually love being single now. I had always been to that point. So now I'm to the point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm ready to date again, and God's time.
Okay, cool. What are you feeling?
What's interesting is my singleness journey is I've been single for a while, but this past year, he's leaned in my spirit to work on personal development.
Mm-hmm.
And when I've been working on personal development through the last prayer 21 through fasting, he will wake me up, or he would show me in a vision of 5 different things to work on in one day.
Oh, wow. That's it.
And when I was thankful for those things I wouldn't have saw with my natural eye if I was turning down my plate or if I was to fast. And this time I feel more complete, I feel more whole, and I feel like this thing in this journey, like, all right, what else I need to fix? What else I need to critique? Not only for a spouse, but for my own enrichment, my own development as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
So this singleness journey has been it's been smooth.
Okay. How long have you both been single right now?
I've been single for about, I want to say about a year and a half.
Okay.
Truth is, I've been single for a very long time, past a year and a half.
Okay. I have too. So same. I've been single for I think we're at 5 years now. So yeah, it's a journey for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. So what do each of you think is like the struggle part or the harder part of being single?
I think the hardest part is during the holidays.
Okay.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, you haven't seen people in a while. Even this time of year where it's Valentine's Day is coming up, singles night is coming up, relationship series or not. There's a rush and the demand is so high right now to just say, okay, let me put my flesh aside. Well, what do you want me to do? Right now? That's the hardest part for me.
Okay.
I think the hardest part for me for singleness is seeing me have personal development. Say, okay, who is the woman that I can encounter or God can align me with that complements the work I've done before I got to her? And the hard part is like, okay, now I think a little bit when is she coming because it's human.
Yeah, of course.
But I want to see if the work that I've done complements the person who God created her to be.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part about being single in this season.
Okay.
I can agree on that.
Okay.
Finding complementary is very important.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then the holidays for sure. I feel that too. Do you guys in your life have people that you feel like pressure you to not be single anymore?
I don't think so. From the church does. I think if once you let the church know where you are, they had expected. My family members at our last family reunion had said, hey, in your due seasons, you can take your time, do what's best for you. I think more so it's a society thing. But society saying you're 31, you should do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
But for me, outside of that, and I really had to, like we look at Shade Room and Ball Alert and all these other social media outlets. So for me, I've had to, minimize social media and just look at healthy pages about, hey, your singleness is real. It's a healthy season.
Yeah.
Wholeness is fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You have to be very careful. The social media outlets you're looking at, I'll say, will give you a straighter comparison.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I have twice now. Now I'm fasting from social media like for pre-21. But a couple months ago I like fasted from social media just like for myself because like for me I noticed that it's like maybe because the algorithm I'm on or whatever, it's just so much about like, oh, you should be in a relationship. This is how you get in a relationship and this is what guys want and et cetera, et cetera. Or like on my Facebook, it's like constantly like, oh, this person got in a relationship. Oh, this person got engaged. Oh, this person got married. And I was getting to the point where I wasn't genuinely happy for those people because I saw it over and over and over again. So at that point, a couple months ago, when I like saw someone and I was like, I'm just jealous. I'm not even happy. I was like, okay, I need a break. I need to like get off of social media and just like take a pause. And it's so much better when I'm off of social media, I'll say, because it's like, oh, I don't see that in front of my face every 2 seconds. So
Right.
definitely
I
feel that.
agree. Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Do you guys take like social media fasts or you just like try to not be on it a lot?
It's so funny you said that because I have a friend and she says, Sam, feels like you fast so much from social media on and off. I can't tell when to send you memes or not. Yeah. So, I do fast for social media. I think the main thing for me is just the unfollowing the negative pages. That really keeps your peace when singleness. I know it's I was following the negative pages and following all the love quotes stuff. That can heighten up your level of emotion, your desire to be in a relationship.
Yeah, that's smart.
I do emotional regulation.
Yeah. For like Instagram, I can do that. But when you come to like the TikTok or the Threads side of social media, the like For You page, like I don't follow those people, but it just keeps being over and over. So I got to figure out like how to get off the algorithms that are going on those or something. Because I have to use social media like for my job. Like I'm a marketing director, so I like run a social media page and I like use social media for this podcast. So I'm like I'm gonna have to be on social media. I can't like just completely be like I'm done with social media. So I'm trying to find like
It's part of your
Johnson's exactly. I'm trying to find like the balance because I clearly have to do it. Even right now, like I'm doing a social media fast, but I still have to be on my like my Chick-fil-A marketing like social media page. Like I still have to be on that every day.
Yes.
Thankfully, that is just full of like Chick-fil-A stuff and you see.
Very hard fasting Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's true. Me working at Chick-fil-A and fasting it's been a test for sure, but it's been a good test. I was like, oh, it's kind of like empowering in a way, but also it's like I have on my screensaver right now is the my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Because I feel like I'm saying that to myself multiple times a day right now because I'm like, I'm hungry, I want to eat, but your strength is made perfect in my weakness, Lord. I don't know what to do. Okay, so what do you think are ways that the Lord has like shown you blessings or like things that He's changed your mindset in as far as singleness? Like, what's the good about?
That deep? I think the Lord has changed my mindset in is that abundant joy, peace, and happiness is within you, whether you have a spouse or not. Too many times, too often, we say, "I'll be happy when."
Yeah.
I'll be happy when I get the spouse. I'll be happy when they accelerate my dreams, purpose, goals, and aspirations. But He's shown me abundant joy and peace is your inheritance. So it's yours whether before you have a partner or after I put you or assign you a partner. I think for me, what I've learned is when a situation doesn't work out, a friend told me she said, Sam, if you don't work out with the young lady might not actually wanted to date you, but she might have went to God first and God might have told her no.
Yeah.
And I never heard that before. So I think sometimes we interpret no as, oh, this person didn't want me, or you don't know what God's communicated to that person. Here we take offense to, oh, they're saying they're trying to friend zone me, they're trying to do that. You have to be very careful. You have to be spiritually mature to understand that his thoughts are not our thoughts.
What like how are you guys practically going about dating nowadays? Or are you just like, I'm single, I'm just in my single area?
I, with this one, school and my career, I am open to dating, assuming that the spiritual maturity and we're equally yoked is there. I'm open to that. And but I'm not an online dater. I'm not.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
To each his own.
Yeah.
But for me, I like to watch women's fruit to see what they're bearing. Are they active in church? Are they serving? Are they nice? Are they kind? Do they have goals? And once I see that, then I would pursue. But in terms of online and dating and stuff, and sometimes, there's seasons where God tells you to take a break.
Yeah.
And sometimes the fluctuation of dating can burn you out from everyone else dating. Because especially if you go to events and everyone's saying, what are you doing and what you doing? What y'all think about this question? So sometimes I go to certain settings and I say, you know what, guys, can we talk about business? Can we not talk about love? Can we talk about spiritual maturity or this law, that how we're going to use it to capitalize off what we're doing and that? So, sometimes love can't be consume everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For me, I'm open to dating. I'm a believer that God works in infinite ways. He doesn't perform the same miracle the same way, the same day, the same time, in a certain space or capacity. So I said to say this, I'm open to Hinge dating, Facebook dating, Tinder. Somebody want to slide in DMs, or if I slide in the DMs, I'm open to it.
Okay.
Because I believe God works and he works in mysterious ways, and he don't know which end he wants to be a blessing to.
Exactly.
We're in 2026, and the Lord can tell a whisper in a woman's spirit, oh, she just shot at Seth. It could be through whatever dating app.
Right.
But if I say, and that could be my spouse, the one that's intended God has for me.
Right.
But if I say, hey, I'm not open to Hinge, or I'm not open to the DMs,
Yeah.
I don't only disqualify myself.
Yeah.
I'm a great person. I disqualify myself on using acceleration and the fullness of my destiny. So that's why I'm open to it, because I was like, I don't want to miss out on the fullness of my destiny, all because of my mindset was when I was single.
Right.
I have to meet her in person.
Yeah.
I have to meet at the market. I have to meet her at Barnes & Noble. I know that's the typical circumstances situation, but we have to be open-minded.
Right, for sure. And nowadays it's so like everything's so jumbled. Like I don't even know. What's your experience with them? Because I wasn't really finding like
You want to go?
said where to find them.
I'll go first. Okay. I haven't quite been successful because I don't have a ring on my finger.
Well, yeah, okay, fair.
So, but it could be my person may not be registered on that.
Right.
It could be that I may not be following my person on a certain social media app.
Yeah.
So, I could meet somebody. Today's January 23rd, I think.
I don't know. The 24th.
24th, okay. And the Lord could tell my spouse, create an app.
Oh.
Hop on that app.
Yeah.
And go through, and when I will let you know who your spouse is, who to like,
Yeah.
or who to have interaction with.
Exactly. Because the same way he like tells us like this isn't where you're supposed to be, he could tell somebody what is it you are supposed to be. Very, very true.
Yeah, that's my experience with doing that. My experience is not as it's different, because for me, I like to see people how they
Right.
first. And I feel like if you have an online dating app, you're going to put things up there that make yourself look good. And sometimes you post exactly who they are. But if I'm just looking at you on my page, I don't really get to see who I really are without discernment.
Yeah.
So that's why.
I feel like I think you explained it really well because I think that's like how I feel and I just didn't put it into words. So because I think I also whenever I was on them, I'd always be like, I just don't like I don't know, it's just so weird like online. Like I need to see something in person because I need to see like their personality before I can like jump into anything.
Exactly. And so,
Yeah. Do you get burnt out from the dating apps at all, Mom?
that's an excellent question. Sometimes my faith is really high. I say, I'm on. And sometimes my faith not it's not depleted, but it goes down. We'll go about my finance when I say, okay, maybe I need to come on. So it goes back and forth. I'm not double minded.
Discouraged.
Yeah.
Take a break.
But I just have to remember that God has an assigned person for me and I have to stay over to what he wants to do in the season of my life as it pertains to daily.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you guys feel about girls shooting their shot? And what does that even mean?
So I follow up. I don't have, I believe that men are supposed to be pursuers.
Right.
But sometimes I think we have to be careful with the social climate in terms of hugging people and stuff. And you have to be careful with. So what I'm getting at is you could think someone like you, but they're just being friendly.
Right. Yeah.
So for me, I always say, Lord, if someone likes me, let them just tell me. Because
Okay.
for me, I might miss it, think, oh, she's just friendly. Oh, she's just an extrovert. Or, oh, she's just trying to get Christian community. But the whole time you might find out, she might have been waiting for you to talk to her. But how would I know?
Okay.
So for me, I would just have to say, Sam, I like you.
Okay. I like really shoot her shot.
Yeah.
Like just out there. Okay. But are you ever will you do the same? Like if you like a girl, you
I definitely will. I definitely will. Boys, as I spy up the lands, she's about. So you just be hard because some people are just very friendly. You can interpret that for.
So even if a girl isn't showing like any signs necessarily, if you've watched her and observed and you find that like you're attracted to her personality, you would shoot your shot at that point.
What's that?
Okay.
I feel like I'm for both. I can shoot my shot or she can shoot her shot.
Okay.
There's a saying that says closed mouths don't get fed. And that doesn't just pertain to males, that pertains to the ladies as well. We're in a culture where infinite people, millions of billions of people are struggling to find their partner and purpose. If a woman sees a man that she's interested in, she looks at his walk, she reads his spirit, he has great fruit, why not shoot your shot? That could be, I know that's untraditional and it's untraditional, but that could be the greatest thing that could ever happen to you. All you have to do is, so I'll say don't block your blessing by thinking he's supposed to shoot his shot. But as far as for me, I can shoot my shot, but she can shoot her shot. I'd still prefer to shoot mine, but if I exclude, or just tell me.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Okay. I don't know how to word that question, so I'm just gonna pretty sobbing fast it. So you guys don't think that a girl shooting her shot is her being the pursuer?
No. Well, to a certain degree.
What do you mean?
Because if we don't know, we don't know.
Right. But if you don't know, doesn't that mean like you're not really interested? Because you would know.
Well, some women are quieter than others, or more social than others. So if someone is saying, like, so for example, we have a standard as men to not let any women not let any woman walk to their car. That doesn't particularly mean that we like you.
Right.
And I've heard women say, oh, he offered to walk me to my car. He likes me. And we all were like, no, it was just 12 o'clock at night, game night, and it's dark. And we want to make sure you're protected. So I believe in pursuing just to show a woman that's the first time leadership. However, if we don't know, we don't know.
Okay.
But now, as I've gotten more spiritually mature, I would say, Lord, if you want me where, tell me, like, okay, let it resonate in both our spirits.
Right. Yeah. I think that would be good. Because in my head, I'm like, why would I shoot my shot? Like, if he is interested, clearly he will shoot a shot.
And sometimes men are just, they're scared. It takes a lot sometimes for men to say, hey, I like you. Because we don't want to be projected. We know a whole word going around. Don't be sure. But we don't want words going around saying, oh, I shot my shot at this person and they said no. And it's a lot of, it could be, scary for some.
That's fair. I think it's scary on our end too, though. And not only is it like we're scared of rejection, it's also like we don't want to come off as like pursuing you by shooting our shot. So I think at least in my head, like on the women's side, it's like we don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I understand. Let's understand.
Well, fellas, always shoot your shot. And like for me, in my case, always shoot your shot.
Mm-hmm. But let's say a woman shoots their shot, then that's like all she should do, right? Then the guys are the pursuers from there.
Well, cool, sure. Let me say his ballpark. Just this initiative to say, hey, I like what I see. You like what you see. That's taking to the next step. That's exchange numbers.
Cup of cup. Also, leader saying, my IQ and she initiating dates. That's not cool.
Okay, I got you. Have you guys had people shoot their shot and then they're initiating dates and so then it like turns you off because they're pursuing?
No. I had women shoot that shot at me through Instagram. And that's when I would take the next initiative, say, hey, we should number, we should hang out, we should get the noise out there. But no, once she shoot her shot, or if I shoot my shot, it's ball game.
I agree with him. But no matter who shoots their shot, the man at some point should be like continuing that initiation.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Make her feel safe.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, it's me again. Don't worry, I'll be right back with our guests. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you so much for spending time with us today. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Let's sit and think about what might have been said that can relate to your life today. And if you're enjoying it, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, comment, all the things. You can find us on YouTube for Such Time as This with Bethany Garner, or you can find us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. All right, let's get back to them. So you guys are like both open to dating, as in like if you notice somebody, you'll like go ahead and go for it, but you have your own things that you're focusing on at the same time.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Do you think there's like a level or a balance between like discerning whether you're supposed to go for someone and just like striving for like wanting a spouse? So like, for example, if you notice someone and you're like, oh, I kind of want to shoot my shot with them, is there like a pausing moment of like discerning whether you're supposed to or not? Or is it just like, oh, well, I'm single and I'm like trying to find my wife, so let's shoot my shot and see where it goes?
I think it's a combination of both. I think the first thing should be discern. But even when you discern, you still have to take that leap of faith and strive to see where it goes.
Same.
I agree. I believe that discernment will it will relieve any cloud of judgment, whether you should pursue this person or not. Then after that, you have to take the leap of faith and say, hey, if God wants me with this person, it will line up. If he doesn't want me with this person, he's going to redirect me to the correct person, even if the shot does not go in.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys ever worry about like, what if he doesn't actually like have a person for you? What if you're supposed to be single?
So I do understand that God does not call everybody to marriage.
Right.
But I also understand that because even if he gives you a desire for marriage, you have to make sure it comes from a whole place. It can't come from a place of giddiness or brokenness or loneliness. I don't worry about that my main focus is making sure I get the correct person.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. For me, I believe that for me, like, I'm not worried about, I know God has someone for me because I do desire marriage. But I'm more so focused on who I need to become so that when I step into the marriage can be all this God has called it to be. And too many times, too often, people could go into marriage saying, and there's nothing wrong with anyone wanting marriage. Well, who do I need? God shape me, mold me, and purify me to the husband you need me to be, and the father you need me to be. So when I take that step into marriage, it can be all you called it to be, and so much bigger more than he can ever imagine.
But it's biblical too. That he said it was in your helping.
Yeah, that's true. But in my head, I always am like, but then what is Paul talking about like later when he's like, it's better for man to be single, you know?
Maybe he was given the gift of celibacy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, hmm. On like that topic, since you brought it up, we actually had a listener question about like, what is it, what is the struggle of remaining pure like in like the Christian faith?
The struggle, I don't think it's a struggle if you're fasting and you're praying a lot and you're in your godly community and you know your limits, being self-aware.
Right.
So I don't suggest men that want to do things the godly way before marriage. I don't think you should be having a whole bunch of Instagram models following your Instagram feed.
Right.
I don't think you should be around women that intentionally dress to put you in positions, and just having that godly community. And even the things that you watch on TV, everything is not for you. But if you guard even when it comes down to music, if you guard your lifestyle around what you're trying to do and you fast those things away, it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yes. For me, purity. I saw this quote on Instagram. It said the wisest man fell because of his flesh, Solomon, and the strongest man fell because of his flesh, Samson. Let that be a lesson to all men. And so when I looked at that quote, it changed my whole perspective of how I look at purity.
Okay.
Purity for most men is an option, is not mandatory.
Yeah.
And when you make purity mandatory, there's certain guardrails and boundaries you're gonna put with. You're not gonna watch everything. You're not gonna listen to everything. You're not gonna be around women who activate your fleshly nature, or you look at the fullness of your destiny and the trajectory of your life and say, hey, this is the period I need to be for two reasons. A, so that when God speaks, I can listen. And also so that there's no reason to disqualify me for what God truly wants to do in my life. Because we're in a culture where many men are falling because they can't put their flesh under subjection.
Yeah.
And so as men of God, we have to say, hey, what are they doing? What should they have not done? And put it in within me so that I can have a purity. I have a pure life so that the Lord can only get glory out of what I'm doing in my singleness, but he need the glory out of when I get married. I just want to add one last point.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Someone once said, when you're pursuing purpose and your eyes are fully on God, you're not running to sin. You don't have time to. If you're fully focused on your desk and you're working out and you're taking care of your temple, you're reading your word, you're in praise and worship, you're in church, you're working on your craft and stuff. By the time the enemy tempts you, you should be sleeping. So
Oh yeah, that's good. That's my good point. In society, but also like in the church, sometimes there's a lot of different like opinions that come at us when we're single. There's opinions about like, oh, put yourself out there more. There's opinions about like, well, when you stop looking, they'll come around. There's like, well, just wait, someone's coming for you. What when people say those kind of things to you, if they do, within for me all the time. How do you like at this point for me, I'm just like, okay, and it was a thought and then it's gone because everybody has their own opinions and I'm just okay. But how do you like receive that? Everybody's different opinions.
I receive it from different perspectives. For one, I look at it like a job application. No one knows you're hiring. No one knows that you look for a job if you don't put in a resume. Now, sometimes in special occasions, someone might call you and say, hey, are you interested in this job even though you didn't apply? So I think you need to submit your bid and at least put out there. Now, you have to use discernment on where you put it. I wouldn't put it in a club. I wouldn't put it in a lounge. But if you put it in a trusted church community or around spiritual mentors and say, hey, I'm looking to date. That way you have older wise counsel that can discern and pray fast with you on one to help you with that search.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing. I think another part is you have to put yourself around certain community. For me, I went to women's night, I served at
I was going to say, did you serve?
yeah, so I served at women's night. So I think just putting yourself in different areas to get a different perspective. And we have 8 locations at our church. So why not try to go to Silver Spring? Why not try to go to Flowers? Pastor Barn is a mighty man of God. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of men that he mentored that are ready for marriage down there. You have to, and are ready to lead. Exactly. So I think you have to test the box. Test it out a little bit.
I got to go to North Carolina.
That's saying, yeah. But, we have to go in the areas like when we want to go to a sporting event, we do certain things. We prepare, we set the atmosphere. When we go to a concert, we set the atmosphere. So in every other area, we set the atmosphere. I think preparing for a spouse, we should as well.
That was so good. Oh my goodness. Those analogies and metaphors. I've never thought of it as a job application either. But that's a really good way to put it to understand it better. Wow. Thank you. Okay. Is there anything that you guys wish the church as a whole, not our church specifically, the church, we could say the American church.
Okay.
That you wish that they would do differently when it comes to singleness or speak about differently?
Just saying to love God is not enough.
Okay.
You just love God and your person will come. No, we need to work on our mental, our emotional, our finances, our career. We need to ask God to turn every weakness into a strength. It takes a lot of personal development. It says seek ye first the kingdom, not the only thing. So yes, it's good that you love God, but what is your work ethic look like? Do you believe in therapy? Do you believe in what does your circle look like? I think if we can, as a Christian community, can get those things, I think it will help a lot of young people.
Absolutely.
Than anybody.
Yeah, that's so good.
I think the Christian community as a whole, as far as the American community, I think we need to teach and elaborate more on self-discovery.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know yourself,
Right.
it's going to be very hard to go and discover what you need in a spouse.
Yeah.
The person who I was at 22 isn't the person who I am at 31 because of information, knowledge, analogies, perspective, personal development, and growth. So first, I would advise discover who you are, discover what God put on you and go put within you, then go out into the market, which is a trusted Christian community, and tell and show that, hey, and discern what's a great complementary towards my purpose, what's a complementary towards my personality, what's a pretty great complementary to the fullness of my destiny.
Yeah.
Because if God called you here, I'm not saying you can't have somebody here and raise them up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but you need a great complementary, not just picking.
Right. Yeah.
Picking up.
To be equally yoked.
Equally yoked, absolutely. And equally yoked has a lot of definition. Equally yoked does not mean they're both believers.
Right.
Equally yoked could be they're whole and you're broken. Equally yoked, unequally yoked can be they have an abundance mentality. You might have a scarcity one. It's a lot of definitions and layers to equally yoked.
Might add to that equally yoked.
Yeah.
Another definition of equally yoked or unequally yoked is your faith is to the moon and theirs on the ground.
Right. Exactly.
And if I'm a man who's courting, dating, or in a relationship or marriage or partnership with a woman who doesn't have any faith,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to cause a lot of problems because we're not equally yoked when it comes to the faith aspect.
Right.
And, equally yoked, do they believe in therapy? Do you?
Right.
Do they believe in saving? Do you? How do you view our finances? How do you view prophecy? How do you view personal development, spiritual development? How do you view fasting and praying? We all have to be on the same page for us to match what God wants to do within us.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. What is something that you have had to stop believing, like a lie that you've had to stop believing about yourself or about singleness that has like brought you peace now? So like, for example, for me, like one of the things is like everybody leaves me, or like I'm not worthy of love. So I've like had to turn that into, that's not true. That's not what God says. So what's something for you guys?
Just because you're single, it doesn't mean you're not a great catch.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
A lot that the enemy has told me was just because you're waiting a long time does not mean that God can't show in and show out and perform a miracle and align you with the right person. Too many times, too often, we look at the time frame and say, hey, if God doesn't work within this time frame, he's forgot about me. He's left me. He's forsaken me. But that's not what he's saying. Sometimes it could be work on yourself. Sometimes it's for the other person to work on themselves.
Absolutely.
So it's the lie that's been told. We can't believe it. And we have to also believe that God's timing is better than our timing. His plans not our plans, our thoughts not our thoughts. And sometimes we tuck away our thoughts with his thoughts, especially when it comes to marriage or a partnership. We'll be happy because what we thought we wanted, what he has hard for us is far more than we can manage.
Exactly. Yeah.
So absolutely.
I try to tell myself, like recently I've tried to like make sure I'm changing my mindset in certain areas. So like one of the things I've been telling myself is like, if I'm waiting this long, it's going to be amazing when I get there. And I've also been like telling myself, like, even if I feel like I'm ready, I'm sure there's things I can work on. But even if I feel like I'm ready, like that doesn't mean my person is ready. So like I found myself recently praying, like, God, like mold him, get his mind right so that like he's ready for like when we come together. Because if he's not ready or I'm not ready, it's gonna be all of this.
That's right.
Is there a specific, this is gonna put you on the spot, I'm sorry, because there's like a specific scripture that like comes to mind that like gives you guys peace in like your sinfulness era?
Yes, I'll give you peace at all times in every way. And there's another verse that says, mercy, peace, and love is yours in abundance.
There's two scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts and plans I have for you. We're always equate that scripture to businesses and careers and wealth and stuff. But one of those plans for you to get those things is for you to be with a God ordained spouse. So when it said, I know the thoughts and plans I have for you, here's a plan for your marriage to prosper. Here's a plan for your marriage to influence. But first, you have to align with the person. Another scripture is the Lord orders the steps of a good man. So what that means for me is, in my singleness, what gives me peace is, if I'm supposed to meet someone or be alive with someone, the Lord may say, go to this store, go to this workshop, register for this business course. And we're at when the Lord orders your steps, he's setting you up for a miracle, sign, or wonder, not only he can get the glory for it. We'll always equate the Lord orders your steps for as far as business and career and aspiration, dreams, goals, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But he also orders your steps for your romantic life as well.
And I think something that's important for me to remember, because I will be like so worried that like I'm gonna miss something that the Lord is like sending my way. Like if he like wants me to register for this class and I'm like, I missed registering for it, now I like ruined my whole life, is like, no, the Lord will like just redirect you back to where you're supposed to be. So that's been like a comfort break. Yes, we'll be routing. Okay, wrap up question for you guys. What's one piece of encouragement that you would each give to someone that's kind of in the same situation that you're in right now, the same area of life?
Have fun with or without a partner. be smart and intelligent in every area of your life so that you can attract that partner. And lean in on God like never before, so that when he does, and keep yourself pure so that when he shows you through vision or through a dream or he tells you in your spirit, this is your time today, you can hear clearly so there won't be no confusion.
For me, it would be ask God to sustain you through singleness and to fill every space mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. And when you continue to pray those things, your desire for romance will still be there, but it won't be as high. And ask God, Lord, do I desire romance from a whole place or from a needy place? That stands on brokenness. And the last thing I would say is, be the best version of yourself. And God is merciful. God is graceful, where he's going to give you someone where you are. And you have a choice to make. If I stay who I am, he has a partner for me. If I continue to grow, he has a partner for me. What do I want?
Choice is me. Good point.
That's good. Thank you guys so much for joining me today.
No problem. Really time.
I had so much fun. Alrighty. Bye, guys. Thank you guys so much for spending time with us today. I really loved having you here. If you liked this episode, make sure you share it with someone you know. I'd also love if you guys would comment any questions you might have that we can answer on future episodes. Remember that each one of you was born for such a time as this. Until next time, bye!